Good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Johns, and I'm from Southern Mississippi. And today I'm going to speak with you guys about increasing your impact as a leader. And in my eye, leadership comes in many forms and many fashions. It comes in big forms and small forms. It comes in high-level organizations, or you see it as a family man every day. As a child, I come up in a single-parent home. My mother had 5 kids. So on the weekends, we would go to the country and we would spend time with my grandfather and my grandmother in the rural South. They didn't have running water. They didn't have lights. We would use candles at night. To take a bath, we would go to the artesian well down the road, which was spring water that runs out of the ground, some of the coldest, some of the best water in the world. And we had a chance to live off of that water, that artesian well. Well, we would run down, we'd get gallons of water, and we would take that water, and my grandmother would boil half of it and pour the other half in the tub, and she would take that hot water and put it in that tub, and we would sacrifice. And we learned how to live, not off of money, not off of who had the most, but off of principles and off of values, and off of a great leader. My grandfather had 9 kids. All of them graduated from high school. My grandfather had a middle school education. My grandmother had a middle school education. They raised 9 kids to be successful, and those 9 kids all have kids who have gone off and actually elevated to a different level of education, of understanding it, and of getting that degree. In my life, I've seen my family go from no education to a generation that is 50% college, and my son and my kids are 100% right now. 100% right now. But we saw that because we saw a leader. I saw my grandfather. He would wake us up at 5 in the morning, and I can still remember my grandmother helping out. She would have the food made, so I remember smelling biscuits, and I remember smelling ham, and we would have a sandwich waiting for us to when we got hungry at lunch. But at 5 in the morning, we'd be headed out to the woods to cut a path in the woods, to thin the trees so we could make a living. A grandfather practiced safety. He wouldn't allow us to touch a saw. He wouldn't allow us to, do anything that we hadn't had the proper training for. He took his time. He was patient. He was dedicated. And there was never a time, no matter what happened, if a truck popped, a tire popped, or if a chainsaw popped off, or anything out of the necessary happened. We never left the job unfinished. He would always finish the job. I remember being 12 years old and thinking, man, I just wish we could go. But he stayed there. And it taught me a lesson. It taught me a lesson about being a leader. It taught me a lesson about understanding, you have to put out for your family. You have to put out for your employee. You have to put out for the people that you are leading. I saw his leadership, and I became a quarterback in high school, and I led my team to the championship, and I never quit, and I never folded, and I never left the job undone, because that's what I witnessed. That's what I saw. Someone once said, your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. Your actions, Nick Saban told me that. Your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. My grandfather's actions spoke so loud that he wouldn't leave. He never left the job undone. 15 years ago, I was expelled from college for making bad decisions. I understood then that, life happens. You're gonna have hiccups in the woods when you're working. You can't leave the job undone then, and you're gonna have hiccups in life. And you can't leave the job undone. Nick Saban told me, hey, Jimmy, when you take care of everything, you can come back. You're a part of this team. Here it is 15 years later, and I respect my grandfather for giving me lessons that I never knew I would have to use, but instilling values, instilling principles in me that I use today. I didn't quit back then, even though I got in trouble, and here it is, 3 weeks, I'll be graduating from the University of Alabama. And I appreciate that. That's leadership. Thank you.